to another Just 5 Mins. This is the rapidly running towards the end of 22 episode. Okay, so yes, this is sort of slightly a filler episode, this one, but important nonetheless, I think. So as you know, I've been experimenting, like a lot of people, over time, moving from my sort of Windows safe zone into, say, in this case, I've tried certainly Mac and got some good experience there, but really wanted to see what I could do with Linux. And obviously this isn't new, it's decades and decades, but again, just shifting where I can actually work, and more importantly, how interoperable I can actually work as well, given things like Docker these days, where I can technically pick up a Docker container or a set of images and move them between different platforms. So I've got I settled on Ubuntu for the time being. I do want to try Linux Mint at some stage, but I've got Ubuntu because it seems to have quite a big ecosystem. It seems to have everything pretty much there. I'm sure lots of other distros do as well, but anyway, that's what I settled on. But I automatically just downloaded the latest version, which at the time of this recording I think was 22.10. Okay, so which was great, you know, looks nice, and got into it. And then I just started, okay, you know, I need for me anyway, I needed VS Code, Docker, a few other little bits as well, just to get a baseline there. And that was a hellish experience trying to get any of that to work. And I was thinking, come on, it's 2022. It's meant to be a little bit easier than this, isn't it? You know, all the promise and everything. But anyway, really interesting that I obviously very slowly for me, realized 22.10 wasn't an LTS version. So, you know, long-term support. And I thought, okay. And then all the stuff that I was reading seemed to suggest that there were, you know, there's some issues there, or at least it's things haven't caught up to it. And it's the catch, isn't it, of always get the latest. Well, you're always possibly going to get the problems as well. Anyway, but the importance of in this case, and I think this is the same for, obviously, you know, coming from, you know, the .NET platform to go possibly LTS, like we've got .NET 6, which is LTS, long-term support, but .NET 7 is out. And I think Microsoft are doing the once every other year sort of thing with the LTS, and I'm sure a lot of other companies are doing the same. But in my case, I really got quite frustrated. I thought, right, okay, it's just too hard to set up just the basics, go back to my, you know, comfort zone. And then I thought, well, hang on a minute, you know, I really should look into this. Got the download of the, in my case again, Ubuntu 22.04, which was the LTS version. I forget the minor patch, but anyway. In my case, I burnt it onto a DVD. I couldn't get my USB to boot or SD card, but anyway, installed the LTS version of Ubuntu. Looks pretty much the same anyway, and I noticed straight out the bat, you know, and I tried this with 2210, by the way, is going through the what do they call it? It's like the applications. It's like the package store or whatever, the app store, for want of a better word. The one on the latest version, 2210, it kept complaining about Snap Store not working, this, then that, and that. Anyway, the LTS version installed VS Code, Docker, everything that I needed, you know, more or less out the bat. The only problem I did have an issue with, and it was only because I was trying to get, ironically, .NET 6 and .NET 7. There were a couple of things there. .NET 6 was, because obviously I think Microsoft had done a bit of a partnership with Ubuntu now, where you've got the .NET distros on the Ubuntu application store, basically. So the package manager. So I did have a couple of little tweaks there where I had to use the Microsoft repository for the packages for some things. And there were some quite good instructions actually about that, and then obviously use just the standard Ubuntu, so this is the classic sudo apt-get install type thing, and that was it really. So there was a little bit of a clash there, which is understandable, but obviously having multiple sort of sources where you can download these things can get a little bit complex. And then also things like, well, there's the snap sort of stuff, and then there's the other one, then there's something. So it does get a little bit confusing to, noobs like myself. But again, the importance of using an LTS long-term support is what this is all about. And I think from my experience, I'm going to certainly look at that in the future. Maybe somebody should have said, well, maybe you should have been doing this all your life. Well, yes, that's the danger of taking the very latest, isn't it? So, okay, that's all I've got this time. We'll meet you in the next one.